Welcome to the Karma Verdict. Let us get started with today's story. She said, "If you cannot handle me traveling with my ex for work trips, then maybe we are not compatible." I smiled. Fair enough. The next week, I accepted the promotion in Dubai I had been refusing for her. My name is Marcus, I am 29, and I work in international finance. 3 weeks ago, I thought I had my life figured out. Great girlfriend. Solid career trajectory in New York. Plans for the future. Today, I am writing this from a hotel suite in Dubai, single, and honestly, I have never felt more at peace. Let me rewind to where this all started falling apart. I had been with Emma for 2 years. We met at a mutual friend's rooftop party in Brooklyn, and the connection was instant. She worked in marketing for a tech startup. Ambitious, funny, beautiful, the whole package, or so I thought. About 6 months ago, she got promoted to senior account manager. Great news, right? Except her new role meant traveling frequently with her team, including her ex-boyfriend, Tyler. They had dated for 3 years before me, broke up about 8 months before we got together, and somehow, despite a city of 8 million people, ended up working at the same company. She always said it was ancient history and completely professional. I trusted her. I am not the jealous type, and I genuinely believed people could be mature about these things. The first few trips were fine. She would text me goodnight from whatever hotel she was in. We would FaceTime. It was normal. But then the trips got longer. 4 days became a week. 1 week became 10 days. And the communication started getting sparse. It came to a head 3 weeks ago on a Tuesday night. She'd just gotten back from a conference in Austin. 5 days. Tyler was there too. And we were having dinner at our favorite Italian place in the West Village. I had been trying to tell her about the Dubai offer all week, but she kept putting me off, saying she was exhausted from travel. So, listen, I started, twirling my pasta. I need to talk to you about something important. The Dubai position? She cut me off immediately. Marcus, I already told you I cannot move. My career is finally taking off here. I know, which is why I have been turning it down for 4 months. But Emma, it is a 40% salary bump, vice president title, and honestly, the experience. And honestly, she interrupted again, her voice sharp. I need a partner who supports my ambitions too. Not everything is about money. I put my fork down. That is not fair. I have been supporting your career this entire time. I am just asking if we can have a conversation about me giving up everything I have worked for so you can chase a bigger paycheck in the desert. She laughed, but it was not friendly. Very feminist of you. I felt my jaw tighten. Emma, that is not what I am saying at all. I am asking if we can explore options. Maybe you could transfer, or we could do long distance for a while. Or you could just stay here like you promised when we started getting serious. I never promised that. I said I would think carefully before making any major moves, which is exactly what I am doing. She took a long sip of her wine, and I could see her working up to something. You know what, Marcus? Since we are having this conversation, I need to tell you something too. I have another trip coming up next month. 2 weeks in Seattle. It is a huge client pitch. And yes, Tyler is going to be there. And before you say anything, I was not going to say anything. Good, because I need you to understand something. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to that tone she used when she was about to deliver what she thought was a winning argument. If you cannot handle me traveling with my ex for work trips, then maybe we are not compatible. This is my career. These trips are non-negotiable, and I need a partner who is secure enough to trust me. The restaurant noise faded out for a second. I just looked at her, really looked at her, and something clicked. Not anger, not hurt, just clarity. She had just told me her ex-boyfriend was more important than any compromise in our relationship. She had weaponized feminism and trust to shut down a legitimate career conversation. And she had done it all while making me feel like I was the unreasonable one. I smiled. Not a fake smile, a real one. Fair enough. She blinked, clearly expecting a fight. Fair enough? That is it? Yeah. I picked up my fork again. You are right. If we are not compatible, we are not compatible. Thanks for being honest. The rest of dinner was awkward as hell. She kept trying to backtrack, saying she did not mean it like that. But I just nodded and kept eating. I paid the bill, walked her home, kissed her cheek, and went back to my apartment. The next morning, I called my boss at 7 a.m. Richard, it is Marcus. About the Dubai position. I am in. When do you need me there? He actually laughed. I need you to be sure about this. You have turned it down 3 times. I am sure. Let us make it happen. All right then. Welcome to the Vice President Club. We will need you out there in 2 weeks for the transition. It was the next week in a blur of logistics. Work visa, apartment search, organizing movers, notifying my landlord. Emma noticed I was busy, but assumed it was just normal work stress. I did not correct her. We still had dinner a few times, still texted, but I had mentally checked out. I was not angry. I was just done. 10 days after our Italian dinner conversation, she came over to my apartment. I was packing when she walked in. What is all this? She looked around at the boxes, the suitcases. I am moving. Moving? Where? Dubai. I accepted the vice president position. I leave in 4 days. Her face went through about 5 different expressions in 3 seconds. You what? Marcus, we need to talk about this. We did talk about it. You said if I could not handle your career choices, we were not compatible. So, I made my own career choice. That is not I did not mean you should just leave. I taped up another box. Emma, you've been pretty clear about your priorities. Tyler, travel, your career trajectory, all non-negotiable. That is fine, but my career is non-negotiable too. So, what? You are just breaking up with me? Just like that? You broke up with us when you told me your ex-boyfriend was more important than finding middle ground in our relationship. I never said that. You did actually. You said the trips with him were non-negotiable. You said if I could not handle it, we were not compatible. Well, I cannot handle it. And apparently, we are not compatible. She started crying then, which I will admit made me feel like for about 30 seconds. But then she said something that crystallized everything. Marcus, please, I love you. I need you. We can figure this out. Did you sleep with him? Silence. Long, horrible silence. It was one time in Austin. We were drunk and it did not mean anything and I felt terrible about it and I held up my hand. Stop. Just stop. Marcus, get out. Please, let me explain. Emma, get out of my apartment. She left sobbing. I went back to packing. Update 1. The next 3 days were chaos. Emma called me 47 times. I know because I counted. I did not answer. She texted me essays about how sorry she was, how it was a mistake, how she would quit her job, how she would move to Dubai with me. I did not respond. My friends thought I was being cold. My sister said I should at least hear her out. But here is the thing. I had been ignoring my gut for months, all those late-night texts that did not come through, all those times she would snap at me for asking about her trips, all those moments she would make me feel crazy for having completely normal concerns. I was not being cold. I was finally being smart. She found out my flight details somehow, probably from my Instagram story that I stupidly did not hide well enough. She called me the morning of my flight. Marcus, please, I am at JFK. I know you are flying out today. Just talk to me for 5 minutes, please. I was already at the airport, sitting in the Emirates lounge, drinking a whiskey that cost more than our Italian dinner. Emma, there is nothing to talk about. There is everything to talk about. I love you. I made a mistake and I want to fix this. You made a choice. You chose him over me, over us, over any possibility of compromise. And you know what? I am grateful. Because now I get to make my choice. What does that mean? I took another sip of whiskey, looking out at the planes on the tarmac. It means I am boarding business class to start my new life. And you are not part of it. Take care of yourself, Emma. I hung up, blocked her number, blocked her on everything, actually. Then I took a picture of my boarding pass and the view from the lounge. You could see my plane through the window, that beautiful Emirates A380. And I posted it to my Instagram story with the caption, New Chapter, Vice President Life in Dubai. Sometimes the best revenge is just living well. I did not tag her, did not mention her, but I knew she would see it. And honestly, I did not even care if she did. Update 2. I have been in Dubai for 2 weeks now. The job is incredible, challenging, high stakes, exactly what I needed. My apartment overlooks the marina. I have got a company car, and I am working with some of the smartest people in international finance. I should be exhausted, but I feel energized. Emma has tried reaching out through mutual friends. One of them, Sarah, called me yesterday. Marcus, I know you do not want to hear this, but Emma is a wreck. She quit her job. She is barely leaving her apartment. Sarah, I appreciate you checking in, but I am not responsible for Emma's choices anymore. She made a mistake. She made a choice. There is a difference. She chose to sleep with her ex, hide it from me, and then try to manipulate me into feeling guilty about my own career. That is not a mistake. That is character. Sarah was quiet for a moment. You are right. I am sorry. I should not have called. It is okay. I know you mean well. How are you doing? We chatted for a bit about normal things, and it felt good to have a conversation that was not about Emma. I found out through the grapevine that Tyler and Emma are not together, by the way. Turns out he has a long-term girlfriend who also works at their company. The Austin thing was just nothing. She blew up her 2-year relationship for a drunken hookup with a guy who did not even want her. I should probably feel vindicated, but I mostly just feel sad for her. Not sad enough to reach out, but sad nonetheless. Final update. It has been 3 weeks total now. I have gone on a few dates here. Nothing serious, just coffee and conversation. Dubai has an interesting expat scene. Lots of professionals from all over the world. I am not rushing into anything, but it is nice to remember that there are other people out there. My boss pulled me aside yesterday and told me I am already exceeding expectations. There is talk of me leading the entire Middle East division within 18 months, if I keep performing. That would have been impossible in New York, where I was stuck in a holding pattern, turning down opportunities because I thought I was building a life with someone. I think about Emma sometimes, usually late at night when the jet lag hits, but it is not longing. It is more like thinking about a book you used to like until you reread it and realized it was not as good as you remembered. She sent one final message through Instagram before I blocked her there too. It said, "I hope Dubai gives you everything you wanted. I hope it was worth it." The thing is, it already has. Not because the job is amazing, or because Dubai is incredible, or because I am living some fantasy life. It is worth it because I finally chose myself. I stopped making myself smaller to accommodate someone who would not even have a conversation about compromise. I stopped ignoring red flags because I was comfortable. I stopped letting someone make me feel crazy for having standards. Would I have preferred she did not cheat? Obviously. Would I have preferred we could have had an honest conversation about our careers and found a solution together? Absolutely. But that is not what happened. What happened is she showed me exactly who she was, and I finally believed her. So yeah, Emma, it was worth it. Every single mile. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with our upcoming stories. Your support means the world to us.